Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomber here with this afternoon mountain weather update. Let's go to radar first. Snow is over in Utah and Wyoming, and it's coming to an end in Colorado. You can see that last band of snow right along that Arctic front moving south past Colorado Springs and Pueblo. So if you have residual snow up in the mountains or shrouding of the high peaks with snow showers, that'll be the case through the rest of the evening, and then all that's going to dry up overnight tonight, and skies will start to clear, and it is going to be a very cold night across Utah, across Colorado, across Wyoming as well. Let me break down a few numbers. So I'm going to take you up to Steamboat. You can see it's sunny there now. They've had a heck of a stretch. So the last 7 days, 58 inches of snow at Steamboat ski area. Up the road, just to the north, Buffalo Pass, is they've had over 6 inches of snow water equivalent. I'm estimating that to be about 80 plus inches of snowfall up there, probably about 86 inches on top of Buffalo Pass in the last 7 days. Interestingly enough, 86 inches is the storm total that Alta, Utah is also reporting with this storm cycle. And you can see now snow is done, sunshine is out, and it's going to be a very cold night ahead. Let me take you to my bullet points. So here's what I'm seeing as far as latest data, latest trends this afternoon. You can see that 86-inch storm total between the two spots. We have a very cold night ahead. Many places are going to be below zero. So what's next? Storm system. 117, 118 still looks solid with a west-northwest flow. A number of areas are going to get a foot at least out of this thing, and I'll show you those numbers coming up. Pacific pattern still looks to be entrenched, 119 through about 124. All right, let me take you back. I want to show you the water vapor here at this hour. So let me just mark the Arctic front. You can see it slipping to the south now. I showed that to you on radar, and there it is. So that's moving away. That was really the boundary that was draped and really the focal point for a lot of this heavy snow generation and orographics. Now that's going to be moving away, but on the heels of it, you can kind of see it taking shape right here. This area of low pressure is going to start to dive in, and it'll gather a little piece of energy from this big trough to the west as well, and it will dive in the coming days and become a storm system, 117 and 118 for the interior. But this big area, this big trough out here becomes that Pacific pattern that will move into the west coast. It's going to take its time, obviously, 119 through about 124. Here's the forecast radar and satellite. So that's the current state of affairs. Some leftover snow in Colorado will all come to an end tonight. Very cold night. And then we start to watch. Here comes that area of low pressure in from the Pacific, and you can see that heavy snow. Here's 117 in the afternoon. Good orographics, west-northwest flow across Idaho, Montana, BC, Oregon, Washington, the Tetons, the Wasatch, and Colorado. And so it snows into 118 in the morning, and then it starts to diminish, but still there in some places in the afternoon, 118. Now 119 and beyond, there's a whole other pattern. Subtropical jet opens the Pacific wide open, pushes warmer air into the west, and we're going to see waves of snow come in with this, and much higher snow levels. I've been mentioning that the last couple of updates, but like Tahoe, Shasta, Mammoth, I think we're probably looking at 8,500 feet with these snow levels, so that's definitely going to cut down on some accumulation lower down, but that's the way it looks with that Pacific pattern coming in. All right, let's talk specifics here with the jet. Here's what it looks like on 117. Nice orientation with the jet and upper level winds favoring Tetons and Idaho and parts of northwest Montana, the Wasatch, central to northern mountains of Colorado with that storm system. So let me take you to 122. Totally different pattern. You can see a couple of troughs, a deeper trough moving through the Intermountain. That'll push waves of snow up through the Wasatch and western and southwest Colorado. That's 122, but a powerful jet brings in warmer air across the west. This is 124. Slight reorganization with a little bit of an amplification of the jet, but still, at this point, we're still looking at warm air across the west. I just don't see any cold air intrusion or involvement or entrainment, even at 124. But that's just to give you an idea of what's going on around 124. All right, new grand total map. Here's what we've got. So the rest of today through 124, looking at about 30 inches on the way. Alta, Snowbird, 24, 25 up there in Big Cottonwood. In Colorado, about a foot in many places. We'll call it 8 to 14 on the way. And I'll break those numbers down and zoom in here in a second as well. In the Sierra, anywhere from 10 to 20 inches, more up on Shasta, of course, you're higher up, and about 2 feet on the way for the Tetons. That 117, 118 storm is really going to hit that area nicely. with that flow pattern. And anywhere you see the purple, that's a foot, or more than a foot. So that's a lot of places. Northwest Montana, central to northern Idaho, a lot of Washington, Oregon, and BC getting some beneficial snow out of this. All right, let's zoom in. The I70 Corridor in Colorado. Again, total snow between, the rest of today through 124. Generally 8 to 14 inches, obviously more up on Buff Pass and Cameron Pass. Let me take you a little bit further west. And I should say that about half of these totals fall on 117, 118, and then the other half comes in later than 119 and beyond. You can see over Snowmass, Aspen Highlands, about 8-9 inches on the way as far as a grand total between today and 124. A bit more of a crested butte. A little better flow pattern and capture there, but and even less down the collegiates, maybe 4 to 8 in that area. Okay, let's talk accumulation by time frame. So this is the rest of today through 116. Most of it is very, very light. All right, here's the storm system, 117, 118. Over a foot, little cottonwood, probably big cottonwood a foot. About 18 inches for the Tetons out of this storm system alone. In Colorado, most of that's in the central to northern mountains, and it's about 4 to 10 inches. Again, about half of the grand totals in Colorado come from this event, and half of them will come from 119 and beyond. Big totals up in 1, 2, 3 feet up there in the Pacific Northwest and BC along the coastal range. Here's the final period, 120 through 124, so another 15. Little Cottonwood, and in Colorado another 4 to 10, mainly western slope and southwest Colorado. An additional 4 to 5 over the Tetons, and you can see the numbers in the Sierra up high. One final stop. We'll go to the northeast, and again, pretty light stuff here, 4 to 8 inches. The organized storm systems, 116 and 119, 120, all go south of the major ski areas. There might be some additional potential very late in the period, around 122, 123, 124, somewhere in there, but that's so far down the road. Low confidence at this point. And some lake effect through Snow Ridge, as you can see there. We'll end on the grand total map, and again, we still have a couple of different storm systems, 117, 118, and then obviously 119 and beyond, which will make these totals a reality. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in here. Always appreciate it. Take care.